Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, they're launching their first ever event of this type. I'm really keen to see in the comments below who's interested in this event, because some people will be. Some people will be like all over it. And honestly, it feels like it's going to be the best time to pull any of your primal shards that you've already gained. That might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3. And then if you spent money, it might be more. But yeah, I guess, look, let's just go into it. There's also a 10 times, which I'll cover on this video as well. But they're going to have a 2 times chance to get epics and legendaries from Primal Shards this weekend, whilst we're doing the normal 10 times event. They don't change, though, the mythical chance. I feel like Raid are just like tripping over silly PR mistakes. Like, they're just tripping over themselves with foolish ways of doing things. Like, you know what they could do? They could come out and just get rid of the rares. Who cares anyway? Raid, why do you care about giving people rares in this pool? It's actually silly. But you could get rid of the rares. You could throw the 2 times on mythical as well. You could flip the mercy system to the same as ancient and void. It would do very little to your bank balance, right? It would do very little difference. And then suddenly you turn a PR catastrophe into a bit of a comeback, right? It's just so simple. Anyway, they're doing the 2 times. If you do have primal shards, if you manage to grab some from somewhere, then this is of course the better time to pull your shards, because you're gonna get a pretty good chance compared to most things at grabbing a legendary. 2%. Yeah, it's better than if you were doing ancients and stuff. Not quite as good as sacreds, or nowhere near as good as sacreds. But if you're going to pull them, this feels like the best time to pull them for percentage chance to get something out of them. Okay? I'm not saying it's good. Yeah, don't trip over that one. I'm not. But compared to other times that we've seen so far, this is a better time. But I don't suggest this is a good pack. Oh my lord. I do not suggest that is a good pack. So let's talk about the 10 times champions then. I'm not going to go into massive detail here, but over this weekend, let's bear in mind next week we're likely to get fusion news. So, you know, definitely better to wait until fusion stuff if you're the average player. If you're just a kind of like pull it whenever type of player, then 10 times is better than nothing if they're good. So the epics up for grabs. We've got Fayne as one of the epics. Really good clan boss champion, especially in unkillable teams. Great in faction wars. Got good debuffs here with poison, decrease attack, decrease defense, and weaken. Pretty much every clan boss debuff you need. But she's got a squishy amount of defense, which means you need to put her in a team that is either unkillable or has got the ability to keep her alive. Yeah, she's also very good at Fire Knight early on. So Fayne's a good epic. Second epic in the mix here is the Priest. Yeah, so we got Ornn. Came out as actually top tier. Got a little bit of a crazy nerf, but still is very good. Okay, so he's a really good poisoner and team healer. He's got poison on his A1. He's got instant like popping poison on his A2. And he's got AoE poison on his A3. Can still do like solo dungeon stuff, especially because he's got healing going on here. And he's got like inbuilt kind of like, I guess, defense and HP stacking here as well. So he's able to withstand a lot of damage. If you can't solo with him, then he's definitely going to be able to duo stuff like Dragon, Ice Golem, those type of areas if you can't get the stats for soloing. But really, really nice epic as well. Third one on the list, actually, another Skinwalker. I'd say like a clan boss specialist here, Scabbers. Again, brings a lot of poison. That's going to be the theme of this 10 times. Got AoE Leech, which is quite nice for Hydra. And he's got a Weaken as well. So Leech, poisons, and Weaken, very nice for clan boss. And then he's got damage reduction as well. So yeah, not a bad epic, but quite a specialist, you know, in terms of just really being used for clan boss. And then the final epic for the voids here is Eurogrim. I mean, I wouldn't suggest there's any reason to pull voids at all this weekend, unless you particularly want the epic or the legendary. But Eurogrim, again, very good, can solo content, similar to Ornn, honestly. Got a similar type of kit with poisons. He's got a cleanse here, which is nice for clan boss. If you set it up right, he will always cleanse the leader, which will hopefully be your stun target on AI. And then he's got poisons and heals. He's like a mini bad Alcazar without the cool passive. And they did, again, they nerfed him so that he had longer cooldowns and stuff, and less kind of output of his abilities, but he's still good. Yeah, he's still a good epic to have. 20% speed in all battles is nice as well. Let's get on to the legendaries, and we've got, can I get it right first time? She's in here. Zavia, I did. Zavia is a poison exploder, a really good one actually. So if you pair her with champions like Richthof the Bold, champions like Taurus, anyone who puts out a ton of poisons, Cavalax, anyone puts out a lot of poisons in an ability, she'll come in and pop the poisons instantly, and she also block revives with this hit, and it hits hard. Like, she can be your arena damage dealer with this A3. She also puts out poisons herself, but they're not consistent enough to be reliable, really. And she's got poisons here. In Clan Boss, she's actually a really good just straight poisoner with her A1. You know, turn off the other abilities and just make her A1 the whole time. Poison Exploder thing doesn't work on Clan Boss. But yeah, she does pair up with Bellinor, but doesn't really do a lot in that. He does a lot, to be fair. She doesn't. But yeah, Zavia is a beast. She's really good. She's in some of my like end game teams. We've also got from this same faction noct the Paralyzer. Really good for the Sand Devil in terms of being able to. He's got this kind of like ally protect. He's got this sleep ability which goes up to 100%. There's not many 100%ers in the game on a 3-turn. But the cool thing about him is on his passive, whenever an ally is attacked under ally protection, chance to put the attacker back to sleep. So you can actually proc multiple chances to try and sleep the Sand Devil when you've got ally protection up. He becomes one of the best sleepers to kind of chain sleep the Sand Devil, if that's the type of tactic you're going to use, which is actually how the Sand Devil is meant to be fought. You know, if there wasn't the kind of cheese mode with Godseeker right now, I think Noct would be one of the best champions in the game for Sand Devil. So we got them for our last legendary. I always feel like he should be in the Undead faction, but he's a Knight Revs. Fast, good speed, all that type of stuff. This guy is just like the ultimate version of either the solo or the speed farm. He basically increases duration of poisons and burns, then activates. That's where the speed comes from. He's like popping the poisons, popping the burns. He also puts poisons and that out himself, puts decreased speed on enemies as an AoE, and then he gets built-in resistance as well. So he's just really, really great. He does things fast because of this kind of like pop on the A3. Again, he's in a ton of my like end game teams. So Teodor is one of the best champions in the game for PvE content, certainly for dungeons. The final champion in the mix in terms of the legendary kind of came out. Honestly, I'd love to know what people think of this guy, because I wouldn't go out pulling void shards for this dude. Very fast, good stats, all that type of stuff. Hits hard, right? So far, everything I'm saying sounds good, and his kit is good. Can't be resisted, weaken AoE. Can't be resisted poisons. Can't be resisted, or basically buffs your accuracy for the rest of your team and puts decreased resistance out. Can't be resisted. Like, he is very, very strong, but I don't really know where to play him. Like, he's kind of okay for Hydra, but poisons is not that great. He's okay for late game dungeons, but again, poison drops off at late game. And yeah, I don't know. It just feels like he's got this insane swing of accuracy requirement for your team, because he's putting increased accuracy on your team and decreased resistance on the enemy. It massively reduces the amount of accuracy you need for your team. So all of this stuff is cool, and his passive's not bad either, and he hits hard. So, I mean, if you pull him, he will be in every single team you run if you're like a mid-game player. But for a proper end-game player, I struggle to get him into teams. So interested to know if anyone is putting him in teams at that sort of level. But again, most people are not at that level. If you pulled a Kael, he's brilliant. Yeah, but again, I would suggest void shards should be held for different events, in my opinion. So there you go. What do you think of the Primal Shard event? Am I wrong? Is it just a good event? Is it just a good event? If you've got Primals, suddenly you've got a great chance of getting an epic, etc. Or do you think that Fayne are perhaps missing a trick with what they should be doing? There you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.